Okay. So my name is Damontá Madden, and I'm a graduate assistant from Indiana State University. And I'm a foster alumni, and I'm a little bit nervous right now because I feel like everybody's obviously looking at me, but it's more than that. Today, it's about you guys. So I want you guys to give yourselves a round of applause because this is such a monumental milestone that you're about to achieve, and you're about to walk across the stage for the second time because you just graduated high school. So you're gonna walk across the stage and you're gonna begin your lives, and it's gonna be some of the best times that you're gonna have. I can honestly say, on May 18, 2007, I did not expect to go to foster care. I was at lunch, actually, and I remember being called down to the office, and they were like, well, you're gonna go away with your brothers and sisters, and I had no clue what was going on or prior knowledge that anything was about to happen. I remember going straight from lunch to the office to CPS, Child Protective Service, and I didn't see my mom, I didn't see my parents after that for about 2 weeks maybe, and I didn't know what was going on. I remember living in Detroit, Michigan. It was kind of a culture shock moving from Pontiac to Detroit, but not that bad. So after I lived there for about maybe 3 or 4 weeks, we were finally able to go have parental visits with my family. And those might have been the worst decision because seeing my family, not being able to go back with my family, it was heartbreaking because I'm 12, about to be 13, and I understand my situation at my house wasn't the best, but that's all that I know. That's all that I knew. So going from there and spending a couple weeks in Detroit in foster care, my foster mom, the first one, she wasn't really a lover. She wasn't really like a person that I could lean on. I felt like she had different ambitions and different motives. So that kind of deterred me from like, okay, I really don't like where I'm at right now. And then when I go to the family visits, it would not be something that would make me feel good when I had to leave because I'm the oldest of 7. And my mom, when I went to foster care, there was only 5 of us, and she proceeded to have 2 more children. So after my time in Detroit for 1 year, which for about 2 months, I cried probably every single night because I didn't know anything, and I wanted to go back, and I really wanted to, I remember asking God vividly, why me? Why am I going through this? Why do I have to endure all this pain and there's nobody here to wipe my tears from my eyes? Why do I have to ask God over and over, can I go home? Or why do I have to sneak and call, when I'm at school, call my real mom to ask her, maybe could you come pick me up because I don't like where I'm at right now. I don't think that's fair, but life is not fair. And I would imagine that you guys would agree because none of us chose to be in foster care or we would not be here. But we're the anomaly, and I love that because we stand out. I don't ever think that God meant for us to fit in because we wouldn't be here. We all go to graduations throughout the year, and that's a tradition. A lot of those kids, a lot of their families, that's a tradition. But what we're getting out the cycle. We have to break the cycle. We got to break the mold and create our own tradition because there's so many kids that need us, and there's so many people who need us to break that mold. So my other siblings, the 6 of them, brothers and sisters that I have, they understand that, okay, he got this. Like, I can do it, he can do it. And I don't know, I questioned myself for about the first year and a half of like, do I really like this? So after I went from Detroit, I moved to Grand Blanc because once again, my mom had, she had 2 more children. So my little brother Elijah was 12 days old. He was removed from her care and he was taken to Grand Blanc, Michigan, where I was able to then move and relocate, which going from Detroit to Grand Blanc was a culture shock in itself because I was living in the black community and I switched to a white community and I was like, I really don't like this. But it took me a while to get warmed up to it, and after a while I began to think about it like, it doesn't matter what you look like. If you love me, for me, then I can reciprocate that energy. Then my family, even my family that's here tonight, they don't look like me, but I know they're my family. I don't know any of you guys, but I know that you guys are my family because we're all here together celebrating one thing, and that's the graduates. I really appreciated even getting the invite because I was like, this is really big. This is big for me because I get to speak to you guys and tell you guys my story, but it's not about me. But if I can help you empower somebody else, I will tell you my story in hopes that you'll tell your story. Because one thing that I get out of life is we all sometimes we forget that we're all doing this together, we're coexisting, and no one has it figured out. But if we just take a second to think about that, and just take a couple steps back maybe, assess the situation before we say anything, or while we ask these questions, then we'll understand there's a purpose, there's a reason behind that. And I really, after I went to Grand Blanc, it took me a while to adapt, as I said before, but I adapted finally, and it took a while because I played sports. So I think people just like me because I played sports, and that was perfectly fine at first. But then you get to see, like Mr. Pittman, he alluded to earlier, the people that you hang around with are the people who will define you, or the people. In my groups of people that I want to be around, I want to be the least knowledgeable so I can gain all the knowledge. Because I can't, if I'm hanging around some knuckleheads, I can't tell them what they need to know if I don't know what I need to know. You don't know what you don't know. So after I moved to Grand Blanc, I don't have anything because it's kind of hot up here, but after I moved to Grand Blanc, I tried to like rekindle my relationships with my parents, and sometimes it would work and sometimes it didn't. And right now, I'm still trying to rekindle those relationships, and they're ongoing process. This is an ongoing process because nothing's perfect. Like a lot of times, my mom asked me, she asked me for advice, my biological mom, and I'm thinking like, am I the parent? I don't know. But a lot of times, it doesn't come down to it. It comes down to, I need to progress my life, and if I need to help her, even though I felt like she abandoned me, then I have to do that, because God doesn't judge me, or does he? He does judge us. But I can't judge someone else, and then I can't want everybody else to say, hey, you're perfect, because I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect at all, and I don't intend to be perfect. But I do intend to share my message, and I do intend to educate the youth. Like when I'm studying my Master's of Student Affairs at Indiana State, I'm researching how can we better progress our numbers to get more students in college. How can we grow our numbers and increase the statistics? Because 1 in every 11 goes to college and they graduate within 4 years. That's 9%. The aspirational numbers are 75 to 80%. So where are we missing this? So I want to be a person who can advocate, because like I said before, we're family. I don't know you guys individually, but we're family because we're all doing this together. We're all living our separate lives, but at the end of the day, like he said, when I lay down, I self-evaluate, because how can I make myself better to make the people around me better? Because I don't do this for myself because I feel like I'm a little bit successful, but I want people around me to feel that. I want the people around me to understand that when I leave, I want to leave a legacy. I want to empower others so these numbers of foster care can dwindle. I don't think that the foster care system is a bad thing, but I'm grateful for it because it gave me the opportunity to be here tonight, and it gave me the opportunity to go to college and receive a scholarship. Western Michigan has a program called the CETUS program, and I chose not to do that because I'm thinking, I want to do this by myself. So I went to fairs, I got a partial scholarship, and then I was able to get another scholarship for track, still thinking that I have 6 brothers and sisters. I don't live with them, but I do know when we meet up again, they're gonna, what have you been doing this whole time? What do you have to show us? You're the first one out, so what have you been doing? And I really want to tell them that we can do this together. We're not always together, but I pray, and if you pray, God knows what he's doing. And I'm not gonna preach at you, but I know that I have strong, high favor. So I know that I'm gonna be good at the end of the day, but what I really wanna do is educate everybody else. Tell everybody else how we can do this together. I remember one example of me being in Grand Blanc High School with my foster mom, and like Mr. Pittman said earlier, you should not be afraid of who you are. I was terrified to tell people that I was in foster care. Grand Blanc is very affluent. It's very diverse. And once you get like acclimated, it's very diverse. So my mom, Tanya, she came to my basketball game, and I was embarrassed to talk to her because she was a white woman and I'm a black male, and I'm like, this is very unfamiliar to me. This is uncharted territory, and I did not know how to be myself around her, and I really think that really kind of hurt our relationship at the beginning, because she was like, well, I'm loving you and you can't love me back, because I didn't know how to love her. And that's something I'm still dealing with because of abandonment issues or things that like I didn't get a chance to do when I was a child. So a lot of times now I'm able to get these chances and I'm able to rekindle these relationships, but I have to remember that people come into your life for a reason, and you have to really dissect why they're there. And if you really understand why they're there, you can help each other out, but you're never gonna, I don't ever wanna take something. I always wanna give something. So I always wanna provide people something they can take away. And I remember my grandma said to me, and she was heavily on drugs, but she was always good enough to tell me, Damontá, your mind is a powerful thing to waste. And when people ask me what's my motivation, well, I have 6 siblings, that's motivation already. And I have a mind, I'm healthy, I'm very healthy, so why can I not educate people and tell them that your mind is a powerful thing, so don't waste it. Because our youth, it doesn't matter, when kids are little, they're black, they're white, when we're in the foster care system, we're all the same. We're all looked at the same way. No one cares, because they all think that we're disadvantaged. They all think that we might not be able to do the job. But I'm here to say that we can do the job. And I'm doing the job, and you're gonna do the job, no matter if you go to college, no matter what you do. We're all here because we're exceptional. And we can do this together. And then I just want to wrap this up by saying, you got to find your way. Find your way, take people with you, know that everybody that you see might not look like you, but they can be your family. They can be your family, because 95% of my family, my blood family, I do not talk to, because that's not how it's supposed to be. I have other family that I love my family, they're right there. I love them so much because they love me. That's all I need at the end of the day. So be relentless. Be relentless with your resiliency, because things are gonna come up. You guys know what weeble wobbles are? Weeble wobbles? They don't fall down, you know? You can take a punch, but you don't fall down. And that's what I wanna be able to do. I can take a punch, but I don't wanna fall. When you guys take punches after this, because trials and tribulations will happen. And I'm not gonna sit here and say things don't happen, because I go through it just like you go through it. But at the end of the day, when I lay down, I know I'm gonna get back up tomorrow. Because I can't fold, because I have brothers and sisters. Even when I don't want to do this, I know there's somebody looking at me that I don't know that knows I'm going to do it. We have to be consistent in our efforts to educate our youth. We have to make sure that we're making sacrifices. It's going to take a lot of sacrifices. A lot of times I made sacrifices, and I know a lot of times my family has made sacrifices for me, not just monetary assets, but just like with their time, spending time to teach me things that maybe I didn't know that I should have known back in the day. I know I have a low conscientiousness when it comes to being really financially stable. So if someone can sit down with me and talk to me about these things, or doing taxes, things that I know that I was not able to receive when I was younger, then I can educate somebody else. And think about this. This is my last thought. We're trailblazers. So what I want to do, I want to leave a trail so you guys can follow. And then I want you to leave a trail so someone else can follow, because I don't want to be the only one. I don't want to be the one out of the 11. I want all 15 of us, including me, we're 16. I want us all to be successful. And not just, success is not just a thing that you see on TV. I want it to be success where we get out of here and we can all move together. We can all move this from a system or a cycle to a tradition. Thank you.